vet to the community, and if there's names of individuals anyone has, feel free to start getting those to us now. Sign up on our hotline or website, and we'll start assembling a forum here locally.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Representative Pavlov, any questions or comments?
One of the things that
Will you come up to the mic, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. One of the things after participating over the last 12 months with MDOT and local stakeholders, I get a lot of feedback from local contractors that would like a piece of that pie. And I guess I would just pass this question to MDOT to suggest, right now with the down economy, we're seeing a lot of pre-qualification needs from MDOT that our local contractors cannot meet because of the dollar amount of threshold. And I guess the only thing that I would add to the conversation is there a way of taking a look at that to maybe get a few more local contractors' ability to participate in the project? That'd be my only comment at this point.
Would it be same interest that we have? Thank you.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kearns, anything? Supervisor Lewandowski, anything you want to ask or say, or any of your trustees? Okay. Mr. Cutler, Mr. Smith, anything you want to ask or comments? Okay. If there's no objection, I'd like to open this section to, some of these people have to drive all the way back to Lansing tonight, open the public audience just to this issue right now and let the public address this issue. If there's no objection, okay, we're going to open public audience to just this issue only, the Blue Water Bridge Plaza. If you have any questions or concerns that you would like to share, this is the time to do so that we can get these people from Lansing, get them back on the road as soon as possible. So, but it asks that you hold your comments to 4 minute or public hearing. No, okay.
Good evening. I'm Ken Harris, live 1521 Wells Street in Port Huron. My question, I guess, to the contractors or the obligation, how much of the part of the new bridge plaza is going to be reconstruction? And the reason I ask that question, anybody that's experienced the bypass bridge in the city of Port Huron for years knows that it's an accident waiting to happen. And I think that you would be remiss to rebuild the bypass bridge without total reconstruction. I think we need a totally new structure there, not reconstructing what we've got. Do you have any thoughts on that? The bypass bridge, the one that leads the access to the Blue Water Bridge. That bypass bridge has been reconstructed numerous times. 3 years ago it was reconstructed with a new deck, and it's in disrepair already. And I just think that...
Yes, the Black River Bridge.
Total. Okay, thank you.
For the audience at home, it's going to be a total reconstruction of that bridge. Thank you.
Yeah, do we give our names and address?
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
Joanne Rumford, 3540 Parkway Drive, Apartment 9. I have a question. I volunteered for the bridge walk. I was right in the center, 6 hours in heat, and like 200,000 people crossed back and forth. I know when my dad traveled, and we have a cottage in Canada, when we used to come off the bridge, we used to come off on Pine Road. That goes way back. And it's come a long way. And I just want to make a comment that I do like that non-motorized pathway. So, good luck.
I just have one question to ask. Will you guarantee that all the booths will be open? Because if they were all open now, there would not be a 30-minute delay. And I know for a fact, because I have crossed that bridge for 70 years, and they've never had all the booths open. So you can't tell me it's only going to be a 3-minute wait when you put 20 booths up there with 5 people manning them. So can you guarantee us that it will be 20 booths open at all times when there's traffic up there?
That's a question not for the state government, but for the federal government. And are you ready to answer that one, Dave? Mr. Dussler will tell you no, he can't guarantee that.
What we can guarantee you is that when traffic is warranted, every one of those booths will be open.
Oh, why hasn't it
We're
been?
there 24/7, and on the midnight shift, our traffic drops. So it makes no sense to have 20 lanes open when there's no traffic. Our peak times for traffic are normally 6 a.m. until 8, 9 o'clock at night. During that period of time, all lanes that need to be open will be open. If all 20 need to be open, all 20 will be open. Now, this past weekend was a good test. We've got some new automated equipment that just went in. It was the Easter holiday weekend, and we still had a 65-minute backup for a couple of hours, and every single lane was open. So, and they've been open. When people have driven by in the past and complained that all the lanes are open, they weren't necessary to be open. That's a waste of our taxpayers' money. It's a waste of our overtime budget just to keep lanes open so people can see a green light. When those lanes and the traffic dictate it, those lanes are open for as long as they need to be, and then we close them down.
Well, I've been up there many times when the traffic was backed up all the way across, but only 2 or 3 lanes would be open.
I'm not going to argue that. I've been up there for 19 of my 24 years, and I've seen times when we just did not have the bodies. We do now have the bodies, and those lanes are open, all of them, as necessary.
Well, where will we get the bodies for the next one?
We're getting them now, monthly.
Okay.
So we will have the bodies to open those
Do
lanes.
you think it would help if you checked, if you had an American customs man on the Canadian side and a Canadian one over here, and you checked them before they got on the bridge, that it would move things along faster? Because this is a terrorist dream to get up on the bridge without being checked and set off a bomb.
Exactly why we need this new plaza. And what you're talking about is reverse inspections.
Yes.
And what people fail to look at, in my opinion, is when you think about us going over into Canada and doing the inspections before we get here, they're going to need that same amount of property on our side to do the inspections here. So whether we expand the plaza in Port Huron, or they're going to expand their plaza also in Canada. It's going to need likewise amount of property. So the plaza in Port Huron is not going to go away.
But are we going to do that, reverse inspections?
Well, there's the problem with that, and the Department of Homeland Security and the United States government, along with the Canadian government, are exploring that. But there's a lot of sovereignty issues that go along with that. If we're inspecting things over there as representative of the United States government, and we find somebody that's got a warrant for their arrest in the United States, we have no arrest authority for them
Right.
in Canada.
No.
They can turn around and walk away.
You can call the other side though, can't you?
We're in Canada, but if there's no warrant in Canada, how are we going to arrest them? Also, Canada has the issue with us carrying our firearms over there. We're not putting our officers over there in situations when we're dealing with seizing millions of dollars in narcotics, when we're dealing with people that are known or suspected of being involved in terrorism or are terrorists. We just can't do that. There's a lot of other issues that are bigger than what our local issues when it
Well, I
comes
wish
to
that
that.
would come out in the paper so people would know, because this has been a serious question for a long time, why we haven't done such a thing, reverse inspections. And nobody has ever given us an answer.
It hasn't been in our paper, but it has been in other papers, and it's been discussed on the national evening news. It's been a hot topic.
Mrs. Enright, your time's up. You can meet with Dave afterwards. We'll continue your conversation. Maybe you'll miss the second round of public audience. No, I'm just joking. Anyone else wishing to address public audience in regard to the Blue Water Bridge Plaza only?
I can't see you. My name is Angela Kelly Rogers. What's your name?
Jenna.
Jenna Rogers. And what's our address?
4121 Pablo.
Yes, and we live where there's an adjacent
I
alley.
saw the blue bottle bed. And they fired my kite yesterday.
Yes, you did. We live right by Harker, where there's a lot of sewer separation needs to be done, so the roads are terrible over there. But I just wanted you to keep in mind that there's families where you guys are going to be, And we're hoping for lots of green spaces. I don't want to look at a prison brick wall that I look at now. So I'm really hoping for aesthetics, especially this is my hometown. And we have, of course, our historical district, the lighthouse, things like that. So that's kind of important. And then also, what did you do yesterday?
And fly my kite.
She flew her kite, and we really like to take the dogs for a walk by the Blue Water Bridge.
I got a fish fly kite. And
Yeah.
it was fishies on it.
And fish on the kite. And we were flying the kite there yesterday, so we're really hoping for some nice green spaces. And just, my main concern is, I've got to get to work. Can you not block my road off? We've had other construction projects in the city of Port Huron where it is impossible. You've got us blocked in one side of the road to the other, and most of Port Huron will agree with the sewer separation projects. These roads have been tore up, back and forth, up and down, and then back again. So we're really hoping that you keep us in mind that we've got to get to work, we've got to get our kids to school, and it's some things are unavoidable, but if this can be planned out, it's going to be a monster, and we understand that. We welcome the work, and we welcome you guys, and Matt and Tom J. I've met with him before, and they've been really great with the public, and I just want to congratulate them. And especially Welcome Center, I'm really happy about that. My family owns a business downtown, so anything you can do as far as wayfinding signs for downtown and to get people downtown, it's a great area. A lot of great restaurants and businesses. And I just wanted to thank all of you, including the city of Port Huron, for please make this easy on us, because we got to live there. And a lot of people are anxious as far as home ownership and whether we should, stay in that area. And we're hoping for the best. So, thank you. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in regard to the Blue Water Bridge Plaza?
What is the chances that it goes smaller and
Would you come to the mic, please, and identify yourself for the record, spell your last name? Thank you.
Marvin Beadle on Mansfield. What is the chances that they will consolidate this further to protect the people living there that don't want to leave, that really, in their blueprint, they got a lot of spaces that are not going to be used, and it could be better for the city, for the tax values, the fire department and stuff, by moving the roads all the way around like that. Might really slow them down a lot of pollution with more traffic, and with Detroit building theirs being supersized, how much is that going to affect this area where this could go smaller yet? Thank you.
Thank you. You can answer. Can you answer it, or do you want to answer it? Okay, go ahead.
At this phase of the project, we are pretty confident that what we're showing is a worst-case footprint. If we do discover opportunities during the design to shrink the footprint, we will, but at this point in time, we believe all the property is needed to construct the plaza, to maintain traffic, as well as to stage construction activities. But again, it's not the intent of MDOT to be a long-term landlord within the city of Port Huron for property that we don't need for long-term transportation use. We discover during the next phase that we don't need, the larger footprint that we have now. We'll address that at that time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Hearing none, seeing none, public audience is closed. Take this opportunity to thank Mr. Webb and his staff, Mr. Dussler and your staff. You're excused if you want to leave. Thank you. Drive careful, drive safe. Oh, Matt, can we get a copy of the slides for our minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you. If you guys want to go, you can, or you can stay, whatever, too. It's up to you. The what? Oh, no, I know. Thanks, Bob, for coming. Thank you. This time we'll continue with the agenda. Public hearing number 1.
Is to hear comments on the application of Domtar Industries Incorporated for an industrial facilities exemption certificate for machinery, equipment, furniture, and fixtures.
Public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in public hearing number 1, this is the time to do so. Please come to the podium, give your full name and spell your last name for the clerk. Speak only to the subject of public hearing number 1. Thank you.
Anthony America, Port Huron, Michigan. All these years and all this of the people's money that's been given away, we're talking of millions of dollars, and yet they keep giving away the city money to certain people. What about the residents, the poor people, and the workers? Enough already of all this giveaway.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address public hearing number 1? Now is the time to do so.
Good evening, I'm Matthew Wood, controller at the mill for Domtar,
Spell your last name for the record, please.
W-O-O-D.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the council for this opportunity to talk about our application for industrial facilities exemption. As you know, we're currently making capital improvements at the mill, which is located at 1700 Washington Avenue in Port Huron. These various improvements are enhancing our 3 pillars that we hold ourselves in high esteem for at the mill: safety, quality, and flexibility. These are things that the employees of the mill have focused on and become very much a premier reputation among technical, specialty, and medical grade paper makers. This tax exemption will allow us to stay cost competitive in an industry that has been showing a lot of hardship and attraction lately. Unfortunately, at this time, I can't report that any of these projects are going to bring any new jobs to Port Huron, but as I mentioned before, it is going to help us enhance the 3 pillars that we do really hold ourselves to, and that helps us to maintain the 238 positions we currently have filled at the mill. So I respectfully ask for the council's support, and I'm happy to take any questions that you have.
Any questions? Just have a seat, and if there is any, we'll ask Mr. Wood.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in public hearing? Number 1? Hearing none, seeing none, public hearing number 1 is closed. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lewandowski, second.
Support.
Supported by Mayor Pro Tem Fisher. Questions, comments, concerns, discussion?
Mayor Mueller,
Councilmember Byrne.
just doing the math from what I learned from Ogden last time around for the other one, this comes to about $4,000 a year or so. And savings for about $30,000 is all it's costing the city over the time period of 6 years, so just thought I'd throw that out there.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, seeing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Dorn?
Yes.
Councilmember Fisher?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember McCullough?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Byrne?
Yes.
Mayor Mueller?
Yes. Public audience. Now is the time for public audience. Anyone wishing to speak on anything on the agenda or any other issue that pertains to the city council, this is your opportunity to do so. We ask that you keep your comments to 4 minutes and that you give your full name and spell your last name for the clerk. Public audience is now open.
My name is Joanne Rumford. I live at 3540 Parkway Drive, apartment 9 in Port Huron, and it's at Continental Court Apartments. I had a question for MDOT, and I realized that my question was unrelated to the bridge. It was, matter of fact, trucks and having a lane separate for just trucks, semi-trucks, which will probably never happen. But anyways, I have the yellow book here that we got. Everybody got the 2009, 2010. It's all condensed. It's Greater St. Clair County, including Applegate, Croswell, Lexington, which is way up here on the map, and we've got little Port Huron right before Yale. And this book is important for people that come to the area that reside here, because this is the first thing they look at for resources. And relating to the what I want to talk about is not too long ago a person contacted Talkback section of the paper and asked a simple question: whether Times Herald was moving to Macomb County. The paper said no. When a newspaper has the support of its readers, truth to power, whoever coined those words lately, even in bad times, keeps the community or communities as one. As long as there is light at the end of the tunnel, such as the Bridge Plaza going full steam now, the words "news you can use" actually gave those living in St. Clair County a voice, and it's worked. So when those of us complain just to complain, write a letter to editor in any paper, hard copy or online, such as blogs. It's amazing how far we reach out to those who want to argue or disagree with you. Now, if that is not bringing someone into the community, I don't know what is. Okay, which brings me to the topic of recognition for both Times Herald's newspapers in education, NIE, and CMH, St. Clair County Community Mental Health, CIS Community Integrative Services, whom our on-site manager at Continental Courts works at, and his manager, Katie, coordinates the disabled under Medicare and Medicaid for information and education for those coming into the county. And I underline those coming into the county, and those already living here in group homes and shelters, etc. I strongly feel that there should be an acknowledgement from Port Huron City Council for both Times Herald newspapers and education and CMH's Community Integrative Services combined into one presentation, 2 awards, to let them speak on behalf of their clients or their respective employers for future goals set forth in Port Huron's vision plan. And if not, if they can be included as CMH clients working at Lakeside Park, where the place I began working, only seasonal, when I found help wanted ad in the Times Herald 12 or 13 years ago. So there was Mr. Pavlov was at the open house for community mental health last year in the fall of October, and I attended that, and I went on tour there. And the Community Integrative Services doing a lot for Port Huron and for the handicapped people. They have, it's like in their space there, they have information for those coming into the area that needs to be educated in the community, and it's like an outreach source. And Lonnie Stevens was there last year, and Lauren Hager, I don't know if he's still here, he was there, yep. And so I just want to let you guys know that how important it is that community mental health is to the disabled, and it's not just disabilities that are physical disabilities too. So, sign one off.
I guess that was to tell you your 4 minutes is up,
5 minutes are up, okay. So I wish that you would have like a proclamation day for newspapers and education for Times Herald and for the Community Integrative Services of St. Clair County Community Mental Health.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Public audience?
I'm David Ellenwood, and I live here in Port Huron, and I just want to publicly thank the Lions Clubs for what they've done for me. And the one request I want to make is please support the Lions Club. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anthony America, Port Huron.
Mr. America? Mr. America?
Yes.
Thank you for stepping aside and letting the gentleman speak ahead of you. Thank you.
He's a nice guy.
Thank you.
He's painted.
So am I. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. The city council, headed by our hardworking and determined mayor and advised by the city manager, is what the city needs now. Not any pie-in-the-sky ideas. Our local, state, and national economies are in turmoil, worse than the Great Depression of the 30s. We don't need any more wasted studies for $24,000, $100,000, or $500,000. No more big talk from Doug Alexander about doing this and doing that and just keeps giving tax breaks
to everybody but the workers, the residents and the people of Port Huron. Do you all not remember whose assistant he was? No one else but Bouchard's. That's who. Yes, Bouchard, who with TIFA funds didn't have to pay taxes in them isolated Edison condos for the privileged and the rich. What about the rest of the people in Port Huron? Did you all ever wonder where all the money goes that you paid to EDA and Doug Alexander? What in all reality has he and the EDA done to bring employment, jobs, and industry to our city and county? I say bull feathers to all the wasted studies and monies down the drain for nothing but the salaries and expenses of do-nothing, misadventures, and malfeasance. You all sitting up there know what has to be done. We don't need outsiders being paid to come in and tell us what we already know. The whole country is in a mess, and it happened because we let crooks in their greed run everything, and now the vultures have come home to roost. Greed, corruption, and malfeasance have brought us to this point. I know we are a microcosm of the bigger picture. With an honest, regulated approach, we can turn the economy around. You hear, Mr. President, and those in Washington. With an honest and regulated approach, Governor Granholm and you people in Lansing, if I could get my other page here. Okay. Governor Granholm and the people in Lansing, we can turn this economic downfall around. Let us buy America and support our workers, communities, and help our own people. The barbarians are at the doors. And we are at the gates. And if we don't begin to approach things in an honest, realistic, and regulated way, we are all lost. One last thing. Give Mr. Johnny Dog an opportunity to have a permit to sell hot dogs down by the river. There is room enough there for a lot of other vendors. He's an all right guy, too. We are the sum of how we treat all our people, whether they be white, black, straight, gay, rich, poor, young, old, city folk, country folk, indigenous American, or European, religious people or non-believers. Annexation of Fort Gratiot and Port Huron townships, our fair share of the stimulus package, regulation of the gasoline and insurance companies and banks are once more necessary to get us out of this mess. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Mine is much shorter. I just want to say that I don't feel that Port Huron is headed into a black hole. I don't feel that we're descending into a maelstrom of crime, drugs, prostitution, and poverty. I think the people in Port Huron are more than willing to work with one another and help your friends and your neighbors at this time. And I have found a lot of help in this town and a lot of wonderful people. I don't feel there are some bad people, but there's some bad people everywhere. Believe me, this is not Detroit. And I also want to commend Randy Fernandez for the fabulous job that he's doing over at McMorran. When is the last time you ever saw a $1 hot dog at McMorran or a $2 beer? Not that I'd want the beer, but the hot dog, if I could eat it, I would. But it has drawn a lot of people. And don't forget, we do have a tailgate party Friday because we're in the playoffs with our fabulous Ice Hawks. So we'll be at the tailgate party, and I'll be putting tattoos on your head, Mr. Moeller. So just don't forget to be there and support our community. That's the only way we will come out of what he calls a black hole. We're not in a black hole, and we're not going to go there. Just get out and support one another and support our activities, and especially support downtown Port Huron. Bring it back. Thank you.
Picture of Fred
mic so they can hear you, Johnny.
And here's 9 papers on depression, because I beg to differ with the mayor said last meeting. Mr. Mayor, City Council members, thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening. I've always considered myself an ad hoc, an ambassador for the city of Port Huron. I want to let you know the things I've done for the city. And I call it in 2 years. In my 2 years' work in the Parkway, I have put back over $30,000 in local and corporate businesses by purchasing my products locally. I have raised over $3,000 in local charitable donations. I took pride in my location at the Parkway by cleaning the parking lot and the Parkway for our residents and tourists, because I take pride in what I do. I have been a first response to the many citizens who have injured themselves by falling off their bikes or rollerblades, and if need may be, sure professional help would be called. I am here this evening not just for myself, but for those in the community who would like to see me remain at the Edison Parkway. I have with me over 1,600 signatures of those who want me to come back. There is more than enough business on the Parkway for 2 or 3 stationary vendors. This would give our community choices, and choices are good for everyone. I ask that you reconsider and allow me to continue to serve the tourists and the people of Port Huron. Thank you for your time, and please consider this request. Please, I ask to help me comply with the new ordinance so I can stay in business and not be another statistic.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
I have more of these in my truck. I only copied over 1,500.
Anyone else wishing to speak in public audience? Now's the time to do so.
Thank you very much. This was paid by Johnny Dog.
Thank you.
Larry Babin, 3471 Riverside, Port Huron. I wanted to speak on the resolutions 11 and 12. I just recently read in the Times Herald that they were going to close the streets under the Blue Water Bridge, what prompted me to come tonight. And I feel that some Washington bureaucrat, fearful of being criticized for a security failure, is spending our money left and right to cover their behind, regardless of how much sense it makes or how much it costs. You only have to look at all the new shiny vehicles up on the Bridge Plaza to know that that's true. I admit that the bridge pier's security has some merit, and the temporary barriers, which I didn't even notice until months after their placement, are fine. What's wrong with temporary? Change the word to permanent, and there's no cost involved. It almost seems like some bureaucrat has a conspiracy to make sure Port Huron never uses its assets to improve itself. Mike Connell from the Times Herald is right when he says some nameless, faceless bureaucrat is running the show. You only have to ask questions about the plaza or any of that thing, and it's always, well, the county said, the city said, the Homeland Security said. There's never a person or a face that causes something to happen that people don't want. That drive along under the bridge is one of the most scenic in all of Michigan. We should find ways to capitalize on it, not detract from it. I remember the first time I took a ride on the 10-cent city trolley, and it turned around under the bridge to return to downtown. When it turned, the sweeping panoramic view looking out under the bridge towards the lake took my breath away. And I've lived here for 40 years. I couldn't help but think, visitors are gonna be wowed by this. Every time I go downtown, I go by the Edison Parkway. Even when I'm in a hurry, it's a discipline to remind me to stop and smell the roses and to appreciate the spectacular view we have here. So naturally, we should cut it off. Somebody might see it and want to visit again, or even worse, want to live here. After all, it's necessary for homeland security. When in fact, any half-brained tourist knows that the weakest spot on the bridge is the center, and our water intake is only 5 minutes away. So whatever falls from the bridge is going to be in our system. So these ridiculous things and the spending of money, and I'm sure it's going to cost the city. And as one person said in an article in the paper from another agency, they quoted free money. It's all our money, and just because it isn't out of the city budget doesn't make it free. And there's still going to be some of our money spent, I'm sure, to do it. We should be capitalizing on that street and that whole situation under the bridge. And the heck with the Homeland Security and what they want. If you're going to let them call the shots, why don't you give them the keys and eliminate the local government, and we can save a lot of money there. So please consider not closing the streets under the bridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ballard.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, Dick Cummings, Boca, Michigan. I pay tax in the city. I don't get to vote for you guys, but I do pay, and I don't begrudge that to anybody. I get tired about hearing hot dogs every time I come down here. If you get downtown Port Huron, everybody talks about downtown Port Huron, there's probably 6 or 8 restaurants there within a block and a half, okay? So if you got a mile of parkway there, I don't think, even if the rules are made to be bent sometimes, but I think if it takes 2 hot dog vendors on 1 mile of the river, I think you ought to consider doing something so we can come down here and talk about serious things. We have one of the highest unemployments in the nation. Look at Mike Connell's article, they're 18% for St. Clair County. I predict we're about 25% here in Port Huron. We're the highest in the nation. We need to be concentrating on more serious things, people losing their houses. I just like to make a plug for the United Way. As you all know, because I've been up here and talked before, I wholly support the McMorran. I think it's a city treasure that we need to take care of. With that in mind, our United Way campaign was short this year by about $120,000. We got more people on unemployment rolls, more people coming to the door needing help. So we put together this Salute to the Superstars, which I appreciate, Mr. Mayor, having on the agenda to make that notification. We're bringing top-notch entertainment in here, the McMorran Authority. Everybody bitches and complains about there's nothing besides certain things. There's nothing good entertainment. We're bringing top-notch entertainment here to the city, bring people downtown, help McMorran, help raise for United Way to help feed people and pay utility bills to keep in their houses. So far, we've had 40 tickets sold, okay? We put a lot of bucks out there to help the community, try to help our people. So I will help people take note of that and support the McMorran in downtown. The other thing I'd like to talk about just for a second is the conversation we've had here about the water rates for different size meters and et cetera, et cetera. I hope everybody keeps in mind the $185 million sewer separation bill that was mandated in the city of Port Huron. A lot of surrounding communities don't have that bill to pay. I don't have any kids, and I don't ride the bus, but I pay school taxes, and I pay for that bus, and a lot of other community activities that I don't take part in. So I don't think you guys should be up here trying to reinvent the wheel, what's good for one company to give them a break and another company have to do the other. And the ultimate thing, if we keep reducing the income from some of the things you have out there, somebody's going to pay the bill sooner or later. We got some companies in this community that haven't been down here, been around a long time, to pay over $100,000 a quarter for their water. They're not down here complaining because they know that the community has to survive. So I think you Thanks for your time, and I hope you take consideration what I've said. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on?
Yeah, Joanne Rumford again, 30.
You only get one shot, Joanne,
Oh,
per
you only
meeting.
get one
Sorry.
shot?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else wishing to speak in public audience?
Trina Avedisian, 15th Street, Port Huron. A couple weeks ago, I attended a special meeting that you guys held where Mr. Brown laid out a plan for the city of Port Huron, and I was very excited about that particular meeting. A lot of things that were said there were very exciting. I thought that Councilmember Lonnie Stevens hit the nail on the head at that special meeting when she said the city should not be paying so much to the EDA. People are getting double dipped because not only do we pay taxes to the city that go towards the dues for the EDA, but we pay taxes to the county which help pay the county dues to the EDA. Personally, I'm in complete agreement with Ms. Stevens when she said the city should only pay $20,000 and let the county step up and pay the rest if they feel the EDA serves a purpose. Personally, I think the people on the board of the EDA don't want to see the EDA go down because they can't run things from that boardroom like they're used to. That's been a real problem in Port Huron for many, many years. In my humble opinion, Port Huron does not need the EDA. I feel that with Mr. Brown's leadership, Port Huron can deal with what it needs to without those that are on the board of that particular organization pulling the strings. It frightens me as a taxpayer to know that those same people have that power. I have become very weary of the mantra I have heard over and over since I became involved with city politics. This mantra goes something like this. Trina, you have to understand these people have money. We want to get them involved so they'll feel invested in the community. The underlying statement here is we want them to be on these boards so they will give money to the community. Now here's where the problem lies with this line of thought. Once they have given of their time, i.e. their money, they feel it is their right to run things how they feel they should be run, whether they are doing it for the benefit of the community or of their own benefit. At this point, I have to wonder if we, as a city, aren't selling our souls to the devil, so to speak, and what price are we willing to pay to get our hands on their money? I have always trusted my gut and find that about 90% of the time I've been right. Some people think I'm pretty egotistical about this, but I'm not. It's just the truth, and believe me, I'd rather be wrong than right concerning some of the stuff I've been right about. Right now, my gut tells me that it would be a major mistake to keep giving money to the EDA. Like I said, we don't need them. My gut tells me that Ms. Stevens' original reaction to this was the correct reaction. The city should only pay a small portion to the EDA and let the county step up and deal with the rest of it. I hate to see the city of Port Huron getting socked twice for membership in an organization that does very little for our community at this point. I think it's served its purpose and it's time to move on. It bothers me to hear council members now saying that the city should work with the EDA. The city has been working with the EDA for how long? And what have we got to show for it? And on another measure, I'd just like to say, if Johnny Dogg was such an ambassador to the city, in my opinion, an ambassador is a person who follows the rules. An ambassador is the person who brings happiness to the people. An ambassador is the person who tries to put a positive image on. An ambassador is not someone who keeps trying to create trouble when there is no trouble to create and keeps pushing an issue when the issue is dead. That's an ambassador, and I hope that you will keep that in mind and understand that Johnny Dogg is not a good ambassador for the city of Port Huron. He's caused a lot of hurt, he's caused a lot of bad feelings, and I think that we need to just move on from this subject, and Johnny Dogg needs to go find another place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken Harris, 1521 Wall Street, Port Huron. Good evening, Mayor, Administrator, and council members. I'd like to speak to you tonight on resolution number 2. I found it regretful that Sunday's Times Herald opinion pages and an associated column predicted that Port Huron's demise if you do not fund EDA at the current level. When Councilmember Byrne came to bat for Port Huron Building Supply, where was the EDA? Nowhere to be found. Will the city of St. Clair, will they cease operations if Mr. Atkins and the St. Clair Council decide to reduce their contribution to EDA? I don't think so. You know, the city of Port Huron is much like the city of St. Clair and many other cities. It's made up of numerous people. One company or one corporation or one group does not decide the fate of a city or its future. You guys decide the fate of the city of Port Huron. and us people in the audience, we're also the ones that are going to decide this fate. But I'd like to leave you with this. After that, I would just like to remind people, I've tried to be regular in attendance to the new McMorran Authority. You know, and I wish that, I'll just address it here, I'd like to urge the council members immediately seek out and weigh the heavy anomalies at McMorran that face the interim manager and the authority prior to their April report. It's been brought to my attention, and many of the people in the community know that the McMorran buildings lack a lot of care and has deteriorated over the years. This building is hugely undertaken care of, and I think that, you know, the McMorran Authority is going to come at the next meeting and give a review. But I urge everybody to attend the next McMorran Authority meeting, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and find out what's really going on in McMorran. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don Dudash with the Port Huron Host Lions again. Our concern